Whoa.
There it is.
Oh my God. Can I like just a little bit?
This is always the tricky part, is trying to get the whole piece onto the platter.
What kind of fish is that?
This is a great snapper.
Drum roll.
Oh.
Oh, hold on, assist. Hold on, I'm gonna get the support. We're gonna get some leaves with this, but it's gonna be okay.
You should take the whole leaf with it.
I'm gonna get the support right there.
There
and now,
you go.
Pick it up, together. 1, 2 with the support. Melissa, where are you? We need one more hand.
What happened?
You left us.
That's beautiful.
No.
Hey, check this out. Check this out.
I mean, the best part.
It's perfect, guys.
Voila.
It's beautiful.
Crazy schedules are the norm for chefs around the world. Phuc Quoc, Vietnam.
Los Angeles.
Washington, D.C.
Maui, Hawaii.
She's smoking me right now. Look at this. Yeah. When we get together, the pressure's off and the cooking's on.
Go Wiggles if you tickle it right.
I'm bringing my friends together to experience each other's cultures
What looks fresh today? I can fillet whatever you want.
and recipes.
It's pancit time. We'll be eating good.
We're taking a trip around the world and meeting back up at the dinner table.
I need a little bit of that.
This is Taste Buds. The holidays are extremely important. It's a time to connect with family and friends. So I called up my chef buddies. I told them to clear out their calendars. They're gonna come cook with me. We're gonna exchange stories, and we're gonna eat and drink great food and great wine in California. Sheldon, what's up, bro?
What's up?
Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, man.
Welcome, man. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Well, I know too from seeing this guy cook his heart out on television.
Come in, make yourself at home, man. Let's start cooking, bro.
You gotta start cooking, right?
Let's do this. Woo!
I always loved his energy and the way that he carried himself, and can't wait to cook with this guy.
What's up, Melissa? I'm so
Hi.
excited to have you. Thank you for
What's
coming.
up?
Sheldon's already here. How you doing?
Good to see you.
Oh, you
Hi.
brought wine.
Of course.
That's what's up.
Having a party, right?
Happy holiday.
It's really exciting to be able to cook all together and just be in one place. Long time no see.
Long time no see.
Everyone's kind of coming together, showcasing their family dishes. What are you making today?
Gonna make some whole steamed fish and some pancit noodles.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, what's up?
Oh man, it's a party now. How you guys doing? Whether it's through events or cooking demos, we've all crossed paths before, but it's really good to come back and celebrate the holidays together.
Fish is in.
Fish is in?
Fish is
Steaming?
in.
Wait, so Sheldon, your fish.
Man, everything's smelling
That
so good.
it's very Cantonese too.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
we grew
it's-
up with like, whole steamed fish with ginger, scallions. Do you guys get the hot oil and like pour it on top?
I know that's what's right about Hawaii, is all these different ethnic cultures that's come together, and Chinese played a big part in influencing our culinary landscape in Hawaii.
Yeah, like we always had a whole fish around the holidays
Yeah.
on the dinner table.
You eat goat a lot?
Not too often. Yeah.
It's a staple.
Not in Cantonese cuisine. We eat a lot of seafood.
Okay.
Anything that's wiggling.
And
But not
yes,
too much goat.
Not too much goat. Goat wiggles if you tickle it right. For the dinner, I'm preparing a couple things that I grew up eating. A whole roasted goat shoulder, and then I'm creating a salad. I'm so excited to share that with everyone in this kitchen. You're creating something from a food memory. And when you have that personal connection with a dish, it comes through.
Look at Melissa. She's not even paying attention. She's like
I'm just in the
rolling
zone
like
here,
a-
you know? It's very therapeutic. You want to try?
Yeah, can you show me?
Yeah, jump on in here. So, yeah, this motion's always going up, and then you're gonna rotate the dough.
She's making it look easier than...
Yeah.
Exactly, right?
I'm making my Cantonese grandmother's gaozi, which are Cantonese-style dumplings.
She just made 4, well, that you just made 1. Just wanted to point that out.
I really love the idea of just being able to share these recipes with everyone and share a little bit of myself in them.
I'm gonna stick to Filipino.
Look in there. Yeah, see, it's beautiful.
I like mine big.
Mine's scrunched.
I got the big dump.
We know which ones is yours.
Melissa's vibe in the kitchen is very, have you guys seen Godfather? She's very quiet. She's very laid back. But once you taste her food after all of her production and all the things she's executed, you're like, oh my God, it's so delicious.
You know, it's rare we get to sit around and like cook with each other and on the holidays because we're always cooking for other people.
Exactly.
You know, so this is a huge, huge treat.
All my best memories is always surrounded by food and family. Like every single, like if I had to rank everything, you know, going surfing or fishing or whatever,
Eating.
it's always eating and being surrounded by a family. So to be able to cook together like this, it means a lot, man.
That's why we do what we do, you know. I feel we're chefs because we love to cook for people. We love to make them happy through our food. You don't have to speak the same language or anything like that and like be able to share an experience. I know that's why I do it. You know?
Absolutely, 1,000%. Like, this is universal.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, I am hungry, so I want to let's work, let's talk and work. Because if you guys are in my kitchen right now, you'd be fired because you keep stopping to talk.
Oh, what's going on in there?
So this is a fish cake.
What else is in there that you're mashing it with?
There's ginger, shallots, parsley stems, cilantro stems. I'm very excited to share these dishes with Kwame, Melissa, and Sheldon to see if they like it or not. It's flavor profiles that you can't find here in the States. Every time I make fish cake, I have these memories of making this exact same recipe with my auntie. We would go to the market and buy fresh fish. We'll take this home and whatever aromatics we have, along with fish sauce, we mash it together and we pound it until it comes into this smooth, like very silky paste.
I love making the fish cakes because it's something that's I'm not really familiar with. You know, as he's agitating the mackerel, it's changing the texture of this fish. So when we fry it up, it's kind of like a mind-blowing experience. What's this called?
This is just a wooden mortar.
But is there a name for it? Like
There's a Vietnamese name.
Yeah.
It's
You can look it up real quick.
Eddie,
He's Vietnamese American, guys.
yeah, first generation.
American.
Give him a
American.
break.
I never had any aspirations to be an advocate for Vietnamese food. I just fell into the role. I wanted to learn more about myself, who I am, the history and culture, and people weren't talking about it. Because people weren't talking about it, I decided to tell those stories. To help me tell these stories, I called up an old friend and local native, Ted Mai. Hey, Ted.
Hey, Chiu, how you doing?
It's been a while since I've been back. Let's,
It's been a while.
yeah, I'm gonna cook some Vietnamese food, some Phu Quoc dishes.
Absolutely.
We're gonna make daka, and we're gonna make bánh căn. Can you help me get some stuff, bro?
Absolutely. Let's get some stuff.
The ingredients I find in Phu Quoc are superior than any other place that I've ever been. There's no such thing as storage. Everything is cut fresh, alive, brought to the market the day that it was harvested. It's so fresh.
It is very fresh.
Nice texture, nice bounce. When I walk through the market in Phu Quoc, there's just tons of fresh produce everywhere. Green papaya. So look at that.
That's a very nice color.
That's a very nice color. We want texture to this, so it's firm, not perfectly ripe. So, oh,
It's very fresh. It's
Right.
just, you know, like just pick up from the tree.
Vietnam all the way, bro.
Yep. Hey, what are we going to buy now?
We need to buy chilies, bro. We're cooking Phu Quoc Vietnamese food, bro. You gotta have chilies, man.
Right. Just very small, but really spicy.
The Thai chilies, they're not only delicious, they're spicier here. You wanna do it?
Yeah, you want to
try it?
Right.
Ready?
Absolutely.
One,
Give it a try. 2,
3, go.
3. Oh, man. Water.
But you know what? This tastes good.
Awesome. It's
Without
good.
this, it wouldn't be Vietnamese food.
Right, it keeps the food more tasty.
This is what you use when you make any Vietnamese salad. You use this to slice things really thin. You shred it. I just pick up like my carrot or my cabbage or my banana.
And you
plant.
just
Let's go.
go like
this. Every time you cook, it's never for yourself. It's always for everybody.
Right, it's for family.
Oh yeah, it's a party. Every dinner is a party. Phu Quoc Island is the birthplace of fish sauce. And fish sauce essentially is just black anchovies and salt fermented and made into this beautiful umami soy-like dressing table condiment. We use it in everything. You can't make Vietnamese food without fish sauce. Every time I'm back on Phu Quoc Island, my family and I, we're always cooking, and we're cooking with the entire family. That's uncle, auntie, niece, nephew, cousin. While I'm doing this right now, I'm getting goosebumps because there's this sentimental memory, this value in peeling this green papaya with my auntie. Everyone always tells me that, oh, you worked in a fine dining place and you got all these skills. You guys can see she's smoking me right now. So now we're making loyo do, which means papaya salad. We're gonna dress it with nước mắm chấm, which is seasoned fish sauce. Lots of texture, lots of different flavors going on. I think the most important thing is that it tastes delicious. Cooking with my aunties in her kitchen, I feel the warmth and love with her when she's teaching me these recipes. If there's any dish that represents Phu Quoc, it's bánh canh noodle soup. Bánh canh is translated bánh canh bọc lọc, meaning those are tapioca noodles. In Vietnam, we prep on the floor. Just so you guys know, I'm 6'2", weighing in like 220, and I'm breaking bullets. And my auntie makes this every morning. Wine bottles, multi-use. Self-defense, or make tapioca noodles or pasta. So after she rolls it thin, we're gonna slice the noodles. She says, it's too thick. She's sitting me down, showing me how to roll the fish cake and the tapioca noodles, pan frying it. She gave me a pat on the back and said, good job, that tastes delicious. I found that so endearing. Yeah. Every Thanksgiving and Christmas, we would come back for the entire month to enjoy what it means to free dive, stories about fish sauce, the culture and the heritage of my parents' island here on Phu Quoc. I come back to this, man.
Absolutely, because from November to December is some of the best time to visit in Phu Quoc Island. We are in the dry season. The sun is out all the time.
Everywhere you are on the island, you get this beautiful ocean mist smell to remind you that you are in the South China Sea in great weather during the holidays. It's all about water, man.
Right.
It's not about what's there, it's actually about what's here.
2.
Oh,
You've outdone yourself, man.
Thanks, brother.
It smells so good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm glad you guys are here. In the middle, we have a green papaya salad and nuoc cham, which is seasoned fish sauce, some herbs, dried squid, all the fun stuff. And then the soup is tapioca noodle, also known as bánh canh. It's from the island that my parents are from.
Okay.
And it's all fish. This is purely pescatarian. It's a fish broth, fish cake, and fish meatballs. Dig in, guys.
The flavors that are in this thing are ridiculous. You can taste the depth, you can taste the lemongrass, you can taste the ginger. And then the fish cakes are just adding this incredible texture.
Did you make the noodles yourself too?
Yeah.
yeah, it's a cool texture,
Yeah.
huh? It looks very simple on the surface, but when you dive deep into it, you want to go back for every spoonful.
This is sea-licious. 3 words. Melissa, pass the dumplings.
Yes, sir.
We should decide how much each person gets, so that way I don't end up with one.
I grew up in Los Angeles. I specifically grew up in the San Gabriel Valley, which is a very tight-knit sort of Chinese community. That's the beauty of Los Angeles, is there are a lot of pockets of ethnic culture and community. My Chinese background was very important to me. My mother's from Hong Kong, my father's from Shanghai, so I've grown up my whole life as a child of immigrants. I got really into food when I was maybe 5 or 6 years old. I remember standing on a stool and cooking in a big wok helping my mom and helping my grandmother, really learning from them and learning the traditions behind Chinese cuisine. Anytime I could, I would jump on it to go grocery shopping with my mom when I was little, especially a Chinese supermarket. Kind of one that has a bit more fat on it. We're making dumplings. So, yeah, that's a good one. I can fillet whatever you want, but what looks fresh today?
They're all swimming.
True. Wait, let's see. Let's check the other side, though.
Oh,
that
that's
one?
huge. How big?
5 pounds. Wow. That's a little too big.
Too big.
I remember coming here when we were little, and I would see them pull the fish from the tank, and they would just like whack it with a hammer and just
Traumatize you, huh?
gut it right in front of me.
For seafood, you want it
It
fresh.
has to be fresh.
Has to be
Yeah, it
fresh.
has to be moving and wiggling around. I was absolutely the kid at school that had the weird ingredients in my lunchbox. It ranged from Chinese pork buns to ramen in my lunchbox. The kids were making fun of me, but I was very proud of those things. Those were the type of dishes that I grew up on, and those were the dishes that defined me.
Okay, thank you.
Bye. My grandparents moved from Hong Kong to Los Angeles. I remember going over for holidays and Chinese New Year. And, you know, in Chinese culture, the holidays is a big time to remember the people that have passed. We burn these offerings, we celebrate them, we light incense and pay our respects to them. My grandfather, he actually passed away just a few months ago. So these are for him.
That's a few $1 million there. That we're burning.
Chinese money. You're teaching me to do this stuff, and now I'm doing it. And
I think it's for the peace of mind.
For me,
It's like I think of my father still living. It's like I'm sending him love.
Yeah, that's a
so you get a little chauffeur.
chauffeur, yeah.
For grandma and grandpa.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, the fire's getting bigger. Oh, wow.
It's a nice
I don't wanna
vacation
burn my
home.
eyebrow.
Okay, yeah. I first learned how to make dumplings from my grandmother and my mother. My grandmother passed a few years ago, and being able to recreate these dishes with my mom is just a way for us to be able to remember her. It was really great to just be in the kitchen with the three of us. It was sort of the moment where I felt I got to learn something from my grandma, and it was really exciting. And, you know, she didn't speak any English at all, so it was sort of our way of being able to communicate with one another. For me, dumplings, it's been something I've been making since I was maybe 5, with family, friends, aunts, uncles, all hands on deck. You guys were all playing mahjong.
Oh, yeah.
In the background.
Hey, who eat the raw one? Somebody eat the raw one.
The raw one?
Oh, that's
They
cute.
thought was cookie dough.
Oh, yeah, that's right, that's right.
I saw you put a lot of meat in there, Mary. I love the meat.
Everybody
They don't have to look pretty, though, you know, they just have to taste good.
I'm gonna put a lot of meat on mine, so this is mine. You like the big one, huh? Yeah, I like the big one, so I put a lot of meat.
This is why I like wrapping dumplings. It's like everyone's all here together. I don't get to see you guys too often, so it's nice to, you know, be together and have conversation. Exactly.
And you can cook for us.
That's what I'm trying to do today. I think it's important to hold on to these traditions because at some point in time, if we don't, they're gonna be lost. And that's like losing a part of me. Hello, ladies. Dinner's ready. Say fun. These were things that were important to me, my grandmother, my mom, my ancestors. So there's 2 broths. So we have the gai tong on one side. I'm a very nostalgic person, and I think a lot of that goes into my own cooking as well.
You make that yourself?
I made both of them. Yeah. This one's jiuguat tong, like a pork bones. Good job. I find a lot of inspiration from the flavors that I grew up on and these traditions that I've carried through my life. And for me, it's like, how can I share that with other people? Thank you guys for coming to help Bao Gaozi. I know, enjoy, yeah. We'll be here all night.
I love this. This is like the perfect pack lunch, you know?
You know, any way to school.
I used to make them with my grandma all the time. I take a lot of pride in being a chef of my age that knows how to create something like this. To be able to learn those techniques and pass it on to the next generation, I think is really important.
For me, it was really interesting growing up. You had Trinidadian food, you had Jamaican food, you had Nigerian food, you had Creole food, then you had a turkey, then you had stuffing, then you had...
Can I come over?
Yes.
Just bragging, making us feel bad.
It's just awesome.
I'm there.
To just have so many different cultures represented within one family.
That's such a beautiful thing.
For me, people view me as a Filipino chef, but my lens is through the lens of Hawaii.
Yeah.
To continue to dive into it and learn about where the food comes from is a beautiful thing as a chef.
That was the thing for me, was that no one identified me as a Vietnamese person, because I mean, I'm 6'2", I'm like 220, you know?
Anyone that comes from immigrant parents feels that split. I think as a Chinese American, you're sometimes recognized as a Chinese person by other Chinese people, or sometimes you're like, wait, you're totally you're speaking full English here, and who are you? Yeah.
Did you ever get, so what are you? Or where are you
all
from?
the time, all the time. But you know, that's the beauty, I think, of America, is it is a melting pot, and that's what makes this country so rich.